What's going on, family? How is everybody doing? Get your libations, get everything that you need to get through the show. Everything that you need, fam. Please do that. Before I forget, the 24th. Oh, I caught a slight cold. The 24th of October. That's this month. Where do we go from here? Chaos of Community. That will be the Thursday for the book club. I normally do the book club the last Thursday of the month, but that's going to be, I think, Halloween this year. So, I figure people be out trick-or-treating, doing whatever, doing whatever you do to enjoy the goons and goblins. So I set it for the 24th. I hope that day works. If not, you can just catch it. You can just catch it later. It's all fine. It's all good. Please do not forget, while you're here, to hit that like button for me while you're there. If you have not already hit the bell, please hit that bell for me while you are there. I would appreciate it. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. You can always go to donatebrown.com or patreon.com/Carnell if you want to give. And go to subscribe to Brown, subscribe tobrown.com to give me your email address. And you can subscribe to the newsletter. It'll be in the description. And that's $2 a month if you want to do that. That's all the good stuff. That's all the stuff. So I want to get to the stuff, because I want to hit like 3 things really quick. I only put 2 in the title, but there are 3 things I want to hit. And I don't want to keep you up all night. So I want to try to hit them and hit them and hit them and get them. That's kind of what I want to do. So the first thing we have to kind of start with, I don't normally do this, but I started doing mailbag a while ago. We just go into, I go to either to the YouTube comments or Twitter or to my own email and decide, pull out something and decide to address it. And because we talked about voting down ballot last episode, a lot of people wanted to talk about it and had criticisms of it. So I said, I have to come back to it. So we're going to have, in the first part of the show, we're going to have the mailbag. The mailbag is going to start a little sooner. It's going to start, it's normally at the end of the show. We're going to start that like right now. So we're going to have a mailbag right now. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the criticisms. Let's have a conversation. If we're a community, we got to have the conversations. First of all, let me move this down here. What is it doing right here? Move this down here. Okay, great. But let's have the conversation, because some people said, let's just address it. How do you break a Republican stronghold when you tell your supporters not to vote if they don't get reparation? Doesn't make sense. And shout out to Natalie, who tried to make it make sense, but because I never said what the person said I said. I never said don't vote. I'm getting to the point to where people are like intentionally misunderstanding what I'm trying to say. This is an intentional misunderstanding. It has to be either that, or you have some type of reading comprehension or listening comprehension disability, and I am not trained in that area. Because that's not what I said. So when you read what she said, and she quoted me, there's always somebody on the ballot to vote for. How do you come back here? How do you come back here to this statement? How do you break a Republican stronghold when you tell your supporters not to vote? Let's just be very clear. Let's just be very clear on one thing. I've never told anybody not to vote. We are not engaging in voter oppression. We are not engaging in voter suppression. Oppression, suppression, we ain't involved in none of that. We are engaged in voter expression. We are trying to find a way to get the party that we have given our loyalty to for decades now. LBJ said, I'll have black people voting Democrat 50 years. He did. The problem is what we've gotten in exchange for that vote since that time. We are trying to influence Democrats in a way that meet our needs. That is not the same thing as deciding that you don't want to vote or that you don't want to show up. We are not getting less active in politics. We're getting more active in politics. You're getting a more engaged electorate. Isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we're trying to do? So I have to hit the mailbag before I get to Ellen. I'm just gonna hit the mailbag first before I get to her. Now here's another one. I just want to hit them. We're gonna talk about it. I'm for one confused. Down ballot continues the Democratic majority. Shouldn't we vote for tangibles? Why vote down ballot? It continues cycles. Down ballot isn't it. Democrats don't deserve down ballot. I understand the sentiment. And here's the thing. If you by chance, I think there's somebody on your, because understand when you vote, you're not just voting for somebody, you're voting against somebody. But let's say you are in a predicament. Let's say you are in a predicament where you can't find nobody on the ballot. Like ain't nobody on the ballot worth nothing. Let's say that is your situation. You have done the research and every Democrat on your ballot ain't worth nothing. Well, you just, where there is an opportunity to write in ADOS. Stamp your name. But I don't get this idea of, see, we're not helping. See, this idea of where we vote down ballot for Democrats, we only just help Democrats. We always show up for Democrats. We don't show up in the same numbers. Some numbers are big, like the Obama years were really big numbers, and some years we don't show up as much. But like the party that we've always shown up for is Democrats. Like you can go through every presidential election, and I'm gonna bring it up in a little while, but you'll see that the party that we've always shown up for has always been Democrats. So what happens? It doesn't really make sense to me if all over a sudden you say that the strategy is just not to show up. The only thing that happens then is that you just get blamed for not showing up. Well, the black people, they just didn't show up. They just didn't show up to vote. They didn't do nothing. No, we're going to show up. But we're going to tell you when we get there, we didn't vote for you because you didn't have an agenda. We didn't stay at home. We're not going to conform to any of your stereotypes about who you think we are. We're not going to do that. And we can't, as a group, understand, like, we're for reparations. Okay? This is a very big government transformational type of plan. This is not a small government conservative plan. Do you think Trump has already told you, the conservatives already told you that's a no? And we're not, so I don't understand how you think you're going to run over there and get it. There seems to be some type of consensus. Now, so I'm just saying, and there has to be an exchange. Like, there has to be an exchange. We've been Democrats since the Voting Rights Act, LBJ, all of that. We've been Democrats. We have been the most staunch and loyal Democrats. It's time for an exchange. There has to be something that we get for the loyalty that we've given the party. We show up. I mean, let me just show you something real quick while we're talking about how we show up. I just want to show you this, because I don't even think we understand. Like, even when you look at, remember the whole thing about how many women showed up for Trump. They said it was more than 50% at first. Now they're saying around 46, 47%, I think, of white women voted for Trump. But I want you to look at what the number is for black women. Now, 98% of black women voted for Clinton, Hillary. 67% of Hispanic women. Now, let me just ask you, like, why are our issues, like, even when you look at their number, it doesn't compare to where we are as black women. Why? So, black women, let me ask you, why aren't our needs on the table like that? Always showing up, always showing out. Even more than Hispanic women. Where are our needs on this table? Everybody want to just stroke our ego and say, oh my God, black women are so wonderful. Let me tell you how wonderful that's what the Democrats do, but you're not giving me the policy that benefits us. No. And you're just trying to split us up and say we're not a part of a group that's just black women, it's black men, and see the black men didn't do it, and the black women didn't. No. We're a group. We're ADOS. Stop all that divisive stuff you keep trying to do. Where's our stuff? You want to look at this? Hold on one second. 45%, not 43% of white women voted for Hillary Clinton. 47%, here's the number though. They trying to make it like it's a big difference. 47%, not 52% of white women voted for Trump. That's 47%. Now I'm going to get to that when I get to this Ellen stuff, because I'm going to tie it all together. It's a problem. It's a big problem. It's a problem. Y'all had Y'all came out there. You voted. 47% of white women voted for Donald Trump. Now, and here's the thing. As we go through I'm putting that out there because I want to give you the context of American politics, American political life. That's what I'm trying to do. The context of American political life is us voting for Democrats. I have, most ADOS Americans have. But we have never been able to really get something in exchange for that vote since, I would argue, since the 60s. And now what we're saying is we're going to show up, but we're going to vote down ballot. We're going to show up, but when it comes to the presidency, no, we're not doing it. Now, I'm not telling you, if you live in a city where you have a congressperson, you got one of these CBC members who has not signed on to the amicus in terms of the Supreme Court in the Byron Allen case. If you have in your city, in your area, somebody who is not looking out for the interests of you, I'm not saying absolute right in ADOS there too, but make sure you do your research first. And I would guarantee you when you go down state, local, commissioners, that there's somebody on there that you can vote for. Prosecutors, there's somebody there for you to vote for. If just one person, there's somebody for you to vote for. But do your research, and we're voting Democratic down ballot unless you can find. I'm not gonna tell you that if you somewhere and you have an awful a politician or awful Democrat in your, I'm not gonna tell you gotta vote for them. You can. I'm not telling you that. But what I'm telling you is this idea of just staying home is not an idea that works. See, somebody else said, I don't understand why so many people in the chat were being disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful. I agree with that. To the caller who suggested we stay home, Dr. Francis Cress-Welsing advised us a long time ago to withhold our vote. That is the real strategy. He wasn't being argumentative at all. He probably didn't go to the conference and just needed clarity on strategic importance of writing in ADOS. Yeah, and I wasn't nasty to him. He can't see the chat while it's going on. I wasn't nasty to him. But the point of the matter is, I don't think that works. And I'm saying now, I'm not saying back then. Because what we have is a change in strategy. See, nobody's saying like, well, this worked. Everybody's saying we got to keep changing. That was a suggestion back then. I think it was tried, and I don't think it worked. So I think we're tweaking stuff. We got to always be tweaking stuff. We can't condemn nobody. If next year we decide to do something else, and when the next voter, when it comes around again, we decide to do something different, we can do that. And I shouldn't feel condemned if we do it. I shouldn't feel condemned if we try something new. That's what you got to do. When you play a sport, don't you call new plays? Don't you change your strategy? In warfare, don't you change your strategy? Whatever you're doing, if it's adversarial, don't you change your strategy? In politics, don't you change your strategy? Right? Like on the battlefield, don't you change your strategy? We're changing a strategy. We can't keep doing it the same way. We can't keep doing what we always did. We have to switch it up because the way we're doing it wasn't working. We went a long time where we voted and then we didn't come out in large numbers. Then something happened. We came out in large numbers for Obama, right? And we thought like we came out, we turned red states blue for Obama. We said this is going to translate into some real politics for us. We're gonna get some real stuff going here, and it didn't work. We gave Obama. We came out in such numbers that we closed the racial gap in terms of voting, and it didn't do anything for us though. That's the problem. See, it's one thing to do something. It did something for Obama. It did something for the people who benefited largely from Obama's policies. It didn't do much for us. And that's a problem. See, when you look at that voter turnout, 18 to 24, and then on the other side, 25 to 44. Look at those numbers. 2004. Look at the white at 49.8 and 47.1. But then you go to 2008. That's Obama. Look at the white at 49.4 and the black at 55.4. At 25 to 44 years old, look at the in 2008. Just look at 2008 and look at that 62 and that 64 on the right side. What I'm telling you is this: We tried a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff hasn't worked, and we have to get nimble. We have to start getting nimble in terms of how we do our politics. We're going to do this. If it don't work, we're going to do this. We're going to keep coming. Keep coming. No, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to stay at home. I'm going to go here. I'm going to be active. And if I don't have nobody on the thing I don't like, I'm going to vote ADOS. And I'm going to go to your town hall meeting or your city council meeting, and I'm going to tell you what the problem was. I'm going to tell you I showed up and you didn't have nothing. Why you didn't have nothing? Right? You're supposed to have it. We have an agenda, don't we? Don't we have an agenda? We got a whole agenda at ADOS101.com. We have a whole reparations plan. We have a whole number for what it's supposed to be. How are you? Let's talk specifics. How are you, Doug Jones? We put you in office in Mississippi, of all places. And when somebody asked you about reparations, you started stuttering and stottering and stammering. Something we got to do, and we got. But it takes time. Things take time. Everything takes time. Takes time. If you had $1 for every time this man said time, well, here's the thing, sir. We've been waiting since 40 Acres and a Mule. We've been waiting since the end of the Civil War. We don't have no more time. We're about to go over economic cliff, and the people that put you in that space in Mississippi. And risk themselves in Mississippi. I know people who still won't drive through Mississippi. Right now, I know black people who will not drive through Mississippi in 2019. And black people in Mississippi risk everything to come out and vote for you. And you're going to stammer and stutter. And you're talking about wait. We don't have any more time to wait. You saw what I showed you yesterday about when we do the mechanized and the automation, who gets hurt the most? It's black people, especially black men, but black people. And you wonder what happened to the nuclear black family, whatever it is. Because we have to make that stand right now. You don't get to tell us you don't know or whatever. And shout out to the ADOS fam who asked the question. And don't worry about it, fam. If you didn't feel like you asked it right or whatever, that kind of stuff comes with time. With time, you get better and better and better and better and better at what you're doing. Don't get discouraged. I'm not saying that this fam did, but just don't get discouraged. Everything gets better with time. I don't say practice makes perfect. I think it's how you practice that makes perfect. But how you practice was pretty good. You showed up and you asked a question that made him stammer and stutter, and that was real good to get some clarity on who he is and what he's doing. I'm sorry, did I say Mississippi? Alabama, Mississippi. But let me just say this. I'm from Georgia. I get everything mixed up. And I'm sick. He's in, let me see. Doug Jones is Alabama, I think. I said Mississippi. Sorry, y'all. I don't drive through Alabama someplace either, but I love Alabama. We love all the South. Georgia, South Carolina, all of that. But I get it confused. But it's still how you have a senator in the South. Somebody put me up the last time we have had a senator. Alabama had a Democratic senator. Does anybody remember? I don't remember when it happened. Before Doug Jones, the last time Alabama had a senator. Does anybody remember? A Democratic senator. Yeah, it's been that long. Here's the chart. Among validated voters in 2016, wide gap among whites by education. But I don't even want to go. This is Clinton. This is Clinton Trump. I want you to keep your eye on something because I'm going to go to something else and I'm going to come back. This is Clinton Trump. I want you to look at this 40, 48, 45, 41, 52, 54, 39. Okay, keep your eye on that. Put a pin in it. We're coming back. Now we're going back to Doug Jones. Alabama, not Mississippi. It's all the same to me. I'm from the South. Jones is blue. You gotta remember his opponent, Roy Moore. Roy, touch them all, do it, whatever. That's red. Now I want you to look at white men. 26% for Jones. I want you to look at white women, 34%. I want you to look at black men, 93%. And I want you to look at black women at 98%. So in terms of Doug Jones, this is who came through for you. Somebody said 1979 was the last time Alabama had a Democratic senator. This is who came through for you. This is who put you where you are. That is supposed to mean something. That's supposed to mean something. That's supposed to, I know I was thinking about Mississippi. I was reading this article today about Mississippi and how Mississippi is still Jim Crowed out. How some of the laws from Jim Crow are still, all them laws of Jim Crow are still on the books now. I know, and they still got the same. Okay, I know I got mixed up. Oh, but those laws, what I'm saying is that's supposed to mean something. All of that stuff, like the fact that we ushered you in and gave you power. See, the person that, the group that gives you power is supposed to mean something. That's the group that you're supposed to really cater to. Because what you're saying is, it's supposed to mean something because you're supposed to express that in how you do politics. We came out, if we come out in massive numbers, that does something for you, that ushers you in. You wouldn't, what this chart shows, listen, what this chart shows is that you couldn't have done it with white people. let's just put it out there. What this shows is that do you call them Alabamians? What it shows is that white people from Alabama could not have done this for you. That's what it shows you. And they did not do this for you. Now understand how they try to divide us too. We saw so many articles. Oh my God! It was all the black women and why didn't the black men no, black women and black men just overwhelmingly showed up for Jones. We did that. Don't let nobody see. This is the thing. Don't let nobody divide us. I don't care whether it's black men, black women, and the whatever, and the who, and the where, and the LGB, and the whatever. No, we're a group, and we have to be cohesive. Oh, the South versus the North, and whatever. Oh, they call them Bamas. Bamas? I thought Bama was a bad term to use for people from Alabama, like you a Bama. Is that an okay thing? I don't know. Anyway, so that's the point I'm trying to make. As we go through here, I want to just show this chart too. Distribution of white voters in presidential elections. Look at how red that is. Gerald Ford, 52 to 48. Ronald Reagan, 56 to Jimmy Carter's 36. This Ronald Reagan's second term, 66 to 34. George H.W. Bush, 60. Then Dukakis, 40. You go all the way, Bob Dole, 46, 44 to Bill Clinton. George W. Bush, 55 to 42. Listen, white people done been left for the Republican Party. They've been left. They've been gone. I don't know why nobody don't know they gone. They gone. They've been gone. So why are Democrats, whether it be state or national, why are Democrats playing for a group that's already gone? What's going on here? What's happening here? We came, we saw, and there was no agenda. And let me see if I missed any of the mailbag. See, sitting out, I've said this before, but sitting out doesn't do anything. And who we show up for is just as important as showing up. And that's why I said it that way. This is about voter expression. We're not skipping the primaries either. I'm not in favor of skipping no primaries. Don't skip nothing. Show up everywhere you go and vote. People are like, well, if I show up for the primaries, what that means is that they're going to count me as a Democrat. You've been voting Democrat. What we're trying to do is get an exchange for all the loyalty that we've given Democrats. We're not giving Democrats all this loyalty. We're not getting nothing for it. So now you're just going to walk away? You know, let me tell you something. We good at walking away from something we built up. We want to walk away from America and we built it up. We want to walk away from the Democratic Party and we built it up. Now, I'm not saying that can't nobody go do nothing else. I'm not a person who calls black Republicans a C word or nothing like that. I don't get into that. But what I'm saying is that we good for building something up, making something successful, and then walking off. How you build something and you make it what it's supposed to be, and you make it successful, and you create it and make it powerful, and then when that powerful thing that you created turns on you, you turn away and say, I ain't want it no way. Yes, you did. Stop lying to yourself. You want it. You want all the power. You want all the power. Like, how can you not? Why are we so afraid to try to take over power and wield power for our specific needs in a way that we see fit? Stop walking away from stuff you build just because somebody else want to use it for something that they're not built to use for. It's like if I build a robot to build a house, and then you start using the robot for other stuff. No, I'm going to take my robot back. I didn't mean him to be built for all this stuff you doing. He mine anyway. Like, built the country. Now I'm going over there. I ain't going to live over here no more. Built the whole party up. We vote Democratic more than Hispanic women did. There's no more loyal group than us. But there's no problem with even being a loyal group. There's a problem with being a captured group. We're no longer captured though. We're going to show up, and we're going to vote for the people. We're going to show up in massive numbers, and we're going to vote for the people that we should vote for. We're going to vote for the people on the ballot who are doing good work. We're going to vote for the people on the ballot who are just opposing people who are grimy and scoundrels. You know who the scoundrels are on your ballot, don't you? If you don't, you should. Know the scoundrels on your ballot and vote against them. Whoever the scoundrels are, you know who they are. He been accused of stealing money. He don't sign the amicus. He don't do that. You gotta look at this. Let me just look at this again. Like, think about what we should have given this chart. Look at that. Look at what we should have. Look at white America voting for Republicans and us voting, and then like look, distribution of white voters in presidential elections. We vote near 90% for Democrats, and they doing nothing. They voting like, well, they voting for Republicans every time. We vote near 90% Democrat. They just splitting their stuff and giving the majority of it to Republicans, and we don't get nothing from these people. We don't get nothing. 90%. We vote for you, and we don't get anything, and you chasing every little white blue collar vote you can find, trying to get him back. Every Reagan Democrat you can find, they ain't coming back. And we're not coming back. We're gonna keep writing ADOS in if you don't get your stuff together. We're not gonna keep giving you not near 90% of our vote and don't get nothing for it. Well, we give you 90% of our vote while you run around and chase people in the rural America. And what do the right Trump voters think? What do they think? We have to interview them for the news and find out why we can't get them back. Well, pretty soon you're gonna be trying to figure out why you can't get us back. Why do they keep just going to the polls and writing in ADOS? Because we've been voting near 90% every election for Democrats, and you give us your butt to kiss. You give us everything from class-based politics to DACA. Even though, you know, even with this, you want to give me all kind of stuff. Everybody get to do what they want to do, but not us. Right? So only thing that we're saying is that day is over with. We're not saying that we don't participate. We absolutely will participate in politics more than we used to. The only thing that we're saying is that we're no longer a captured vote. We're voting down ballot. And that depends on who we like down ballot. If we don't like if we see a bunch of smarmy people, we're going to write in ADOS. We're voting Democrat down ballot, but we'll write in ADOS through a whole bunch of stuff. It's one of them CBC members we don't like who won't sign on to the amicus and won't do our advocacy and says we're the conscience of the country or whatever you said. We're just going to write down ADOS. But we're going to show up because I guarantee there's at least one person on your ballot that needs your support. You're not just voting for people when you go vote. You're voting against people. And even that voting down ballot and having a presidential protest vote that is still showing up and protesting. You got to show up. So please understand that I've never said that you should not show up to vote. You absolutely should. We absolutely should. It's just how we vote that makes all the difference. And what we're willing to do and what we're willing to sacrifice. Got that man, got Doug Jones, we got you there. And now you stammering, stuttering. It's a problem. It's a real problem. It's a real problem how we get treated. Look at that race. You see, let me bring that up. Forget education and all that other stuff. Let me bring that race up bigger. Hold on. The demographic profiles of Trump and Clinton voters differ dramatically. That's the title of this. Now look at the race. Just look at that. Now look at the bottom. I'm gonna bring the bottom up. No, you can't see it now. Clinton voters. And look at the Trump voters. And look at that black. Black and Hispanic. Like, tonight they've been put in the same little bubble again. That same little thing. And then that light blue is white. You see 60 on one side and 88 on the other? I do. Anyway. I see it. I see it all the way through. I see it all the way through. What is the definition of something? What are y'all saying in the chat? Anyway, let me get to this really quick, because we're gonna have to get to this. Get my images right. And I want to say this before I go on. Before I pivot, I'm going to pivot to Ellen. But let me just say this before I go on to Ellen. We have time. See, because when I'm putting it out now, you know, you have the carrot and the stick, right? I want to see a massive turnout in Obama numbers, right? That's what I want to see. The candidates really do have time. I hear Elizabeth Warren say all the time, I got a plan for that. I got a plan for that. I need you to have a plan for this, Elizabeth Warren. You all really do have time. And let me tell you something, Elizabeth Warren, I'm thinking that Hillary Clinton might jump back in this thing. So you better get your stuff together too. Because there's been a lot of little clamoring on social media where Trump saying I can beat her and she saying I can beat him. It's a lot of little stuff that's kind of indicative to me that some other stuff is going on. Bernie had a heart attack. And everybody, so people aren't happy with the Democratic field anymore, I don't think. It ain't nobody in the field right now except Warren. That's the only person in the field. And people are trying to figure out what she can win. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. So what I'm saying to you, if you're listening, Hillary, y'all can fix this. We need a reparations agenda. Start with $500 billion on the plate. Right? Start with that, and then we'll work out the trillions. We can do it. You can do it. We can do it. You have time to fix this. I say now, and I keep saying, you have to go back to the drawing board, though. I don't know who the gatekeepers are that you've been talking to. I don't know what they've been telling you about what's going on the ground, but they're wrong. And they're wrong about the sentiment of ADOS. They're wrong about what we think. They're wrong about what we're willing to do. They're wrong about what we're willing to sacrifice. So you have to go back to the drawing board, knowing that you probably have to get new staff too, because your staff ain't staff that's in tune with ADOS on the ground. They don't hang out with us. They hang out with you at Martha's Vineyard, and they don't know what we think. You probably gonna have to get somebody to come and talk to us and figure out what we think. You probably get rid of them and replace them with all new people, because they don't serve the needs of you, your campaign, or anybody else. Certainly not us. But that's time for you to, we got plenty of time for you to come around. You could put us in a position where we don't have to vote down ballot, where we could vote for you. It's up to you, though. It's not up to me. It's not up to me. So, as we pivot, you all saw something. You probably saw the same thing I saw. Ellen, the comedian, whatever, who watches it, was with George W. Bush. And she did this whole little thing to talk about why she was hanging out with George W. Bush and how her thing is just kindness. And, you have to be kind to everybody. Even people that you disagree with. You just have to be kind. Just kind. And what I'm telling you right now is that the kindness that she's talking about is really just a con. And I'm not saying that nobody else kind of runs this con. I'm not saying that it's just her. Michelle Obama was getting candy and doing all kind of stuff. I'm not saying that. But I want to point to Ellen because I want to talk about a specific kind of con that's run by a specific kind of people. Let me just talk about this. So, everybody believes Ellen is like this liberal icon. This on the left, she's a liberal icon. Liberal, gay rights, California, blah, blah, blah. That's who she is. But there's a lot that she said in that little video. If you watch, she said, Jerry Jones' daughter invited me. So the daughter of a NFL owner invited me, and the what she said, the Packers, the quarterback of the opposing team was her friend, and George W. Bush is here, and what she's saying is like, all my friends are rich people. And my rich people have a variety of views. Some are staunch Republicans and some are not. But I need to navigate this environment of rich people. And having beliefs and strong convictions would not allow me to navigate within this framework. I can't have any strong values or beliefs if I want to navigate within this framework of all these rich people, because they don't believe the same as you poor people. And I want to navigate these relationships so I can do even more with my life and with my TV and everything I want to do. And I can't be here in the skybox if I'm standing up for y'all. So I can't stand up for y'all. I just got to take a thing where I got to be nice to everybody. But I heard, Ellen, you ain't nice to everybody anyway. So I don't know who you're lying to. We're not going to get into all that because that's gossip. This idea that you're not running a con. And see, let me just say, that's the solidarity con. I'm a white woman, so I am a minority, and I am impacted and afflicted as you. I am a gay white woman. I am minority, and I am inflicted upon. No, you're not. You over there in the skybox, Jerry Jones. You got George W. Bush beside you. There's nothing separating you from any other rich white person on the planet. You are cloaking yourself in sort of a minorityness, or solidarityness, or you're cloaking yourself in something that is not true. No. You got to remember, let me just see if I can find this really quick. You got to remember this. Like, you got to understand how duplicitous these people are, even to everybody who they claim to support. You just really got to understand who they are. Like, understand that George Bush calls for ban on same-sex marriage, and that's who Ellen's in the box with. Ellen, you ain't even down with your own peeps. Like, I don't even know what you thought you was doing. But I do. See, that's the thing. In 2013, Jerry Jones, that's who the owner's daughter, when she was in that box, that's where Ellen was. Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, that's who he is, gave $5,000 to the presidential campaign of Rick Perry and $2,500 to Mitt Romney. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones will use $17 million mansion in Highland Park to host fundraisers for Chris Christie. That's who Jerry Jones is. That's who Ellen was sitting with. And she wasn't sitting with them because of nothing. She was sitting with them because she is them. The con is to get them to be like, I'm just like you, ADOS. I'm a minority too. I too have suffered in the world. Ellen made $80 million last year. And she runs with people who make $80 million or $1 billion or $100 million or $200 million. And she don't care. And the easy way to say I don't care is to be like, I just be nice to everybody. I ain't nice to everybody. How you going to be nice to everybody? How you going to be in solidarity but be nice to everybody? Well, that's just what I think. I just think you ought to be nice to everybody. That child made $80 million off bad jokes. God, dog, and dancing. Dancing around. What? I saw that thing. 86, 87 million. She did a whole stand-up about how I'm not like you. Oh, the seat goes back to, oh, there's a 10B. I didn't know the plane was that big. How did everybody not know they were being made fun of? You're painting yourself as a liberal, but you're not. See, the thing is, everybody wants to hold us accountable. Listen to me. Please hear me when I say this. Everybody wants to hold us accountable and say, black people got to show up for Democrats and got to vote for Democrats. You can't vote down ballot. No. When you show up, you got to vote for the candidate. But let me just say, Ellen will have dinner. Ellen will have dinner with 20 white women Trump supporters and say, well, that's just their beliefs. I'm kind to everyone. And then come and tell me, what are you doing? You're ruining the country. No, why don't y'all break y'all relationships? If it's so important to you that Trump not get reelected, why don't you break your relationships? Why? Why don't you break your relationships? You'll go have, listen, a white woman will go have brunch and she'll have brunch with 10 women and 6 of them voted for Trump. And she won't say nothing to them. Well, I don't agree. But if that's how you feel, she won't say nothing to them. Ellen won't say nothing to them. But then you'll come and tell me, well, see, the problem is all the blacks. The blacks. They usually come out in high number for Democrats, but they didn't do it. And, they're the reason we got Trump. That's why we got Trump. No, go tell your friends about it. But see, you don't want to lose your social capital. So you don't want to tell your friends about it because you don't want to lose your social capital. Those people mean something to you. You have a social exchange with them. So you don't want to lose your social capital. So you get to do politics how you want to do it. No. We all get chased around the internet as Trumpists. Oh, Yvette and them they're xenophobe, they're Trump supporters with no evidence whatsoever. But y'all gonna let Ellen just sit in the booth with George W. Bush and her say she kind to everybody and everybody want to just let her run off? What is this double standard? We can't even do politics because everybody's telling us what we can and can't do. Let me tell you something right now. The reason I have always defended however I feel about whatever I feel is because ain't nobody on this internet, ain't nobody on Twitter, ain't nobody on YouTube, my daddy or my mama. I don't care. You don't get to tell me, ain't no white person in LA or San Francisco or New York or nowhere else going to tell me how to do my politics. You mind your business because you don't tell them people around you how to do their politics. And they tell you openly they voted for Trump. I didn't. Black America didn't. You gave us Trump. You figure it out. You figure out how to live your life in this world. You figure it out. You and your little friends that voted for Trump. What was it, like 47% for white women? Y'all figure it out then. Figure out how to undo what you did. Don't come to me talking nothing about why y'all vote down ballot. You shouldn't even get to speak to me. You have no right to mention my name. You think you are. I don't know what people think they're doing in this world. They're going to tell us what we got to do when I see how you live your life. Do we see how Ellen just gave us a window into how she lives her life? Into how duplicitous she is, how she runs around with all these rainbow flags, but you're supporting the man who was opposed to the gay marriage. I don't even know how the rest of white gay America isn't upset with you. You such a fool. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, you just went out. I just love everybody. That's not politics. It's one thing to say I ran into the man. I was coming into Hardee's or wherever. Is that still open? Dairy Queen. Where do people go? I don't know. I was running into somewhere and I ran into him. He said, hey. And they caught me saying, hey. I wasn't trying to be me. I was just saying, hey. You sat in a booth. You did some opulent, elitist stuff. Cozying up. Goo-gooing and gaga with this man and with, all the stuff. We're gonna talk about Iraq and stuff. We're gonna talk about all that. But you Google, you are duplicitous, and I have a window into the duplicity of your community. And that's not only just white community and white women, that is the LGBT white community too. There is no solidarity there. We are our own group. And we see why. Because you talk a whole bunch I donated $100,000 to Sierra Club to save the turtles. And then we turn around and you do this. Yeah, because that's your life. And you lead your life. And you're going to keep those relationships. And you don't care how we feel about it. Well, I don't care how you feel about me voting down ballot. Really don't. Don't want to have no conversation about it. Not with you. For what? I don't owe you anything. I owe you nothing. I'm a citizen just like you are. I owe you nothing. Go tell your brunch buddies that they did it wrong, that they got it wrong. Don't tell me nothing. Go tell your brunch buddies that they messed it all up. Now let me just end with this. It just got on my nerves. I'm going to end with it. Bob loves Abiola. Now, not going to take long. I just want to hit this really quickly. There was a part in the show that got a lot of attention where one of Abiola's Fraggle Rock looking friends decided to say, he was talking about the men that I get Nigerians or whatever marry. So she was saying that we marry everybody, every group, including white people above ADOS. And you can find it on my Twitter, but one of the writers on the show said the following. I think this is a writer. She's a comic, London Nigerian. I think you should just call yourself Nigerian. I don't even know. But the dialogue is meant to trigger a discussion on where these ideas originally came from, and we are obviously highlighting the ignorance of these ideas and giving these characters like regular people a point to grow from. Duh. Now, first of all, you missed me with the duh. You really missed me with the duh, because you don't get the right to be condescending. Comic. So that's the first problem. The second problem is this. Let me tell you something. You have a character who the plot of this thing is her relationship or love, falling in love with the white man. I have no problem with with interracial, whatever. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. I have no issue with whatever. I've discussed my issues on previous shows. How it has to be. You can't be defanged. You can't be a pet. Whatever. I've discussed all that. But you have this relationship where a Nigerian woman, I think she's Nigerian, ain't she, fam? Tell me if she ain't. Anyway, you have this situation where this woman is loving a white man or getting into a relationship with a white man and having a discussion about not dating black men. That's a problem for me. And I hear people when they say, well, that, you know, we're just exposing the ignorance, and we're gonna allow these characters. And I want to say to you something very honestly. All my life, I have seen these shows where we have had to explain to white people that we are not gangbangers or welfare queens or whatever. And to the extent that we are, it's your fault. To the extent that we are, it's your fault for locking us out of Americanness. I have watched those shows since I was a kid, I feel like. You don't get to come here and have me baby step you through it too. I don't want to see it no more. Off my TV. I don't owe you that. See, I don't owe you that thing to where, okay, I got to teach you too. You just got here. We've been here since really before, but from 1619 to 1919, I've been having to teach white people. Now you just got here and you want me to teach you too? No, you just tell people don't do that. Don't say that. That's not who they are. That's not who ADOS is. Because, you know, I heard a lot of laugh lines in that one scene. Go back and look at that scene. It's on my Twitter. It's a lot of laugh lines in there. But ain't funny. Ain't none of that funny. And y'all ain't funny. Your writers ain't funny. You're not funny either, comic. You're not funny. Go back. Figure it out. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't care how you live your life. But we have done this enough. I am done explaining to people who we are in the country of our birth. I'm not going through this. Well, you got to understand. We went through this. You got to understand. This comes from white supremacy. You got to understand. I don't have to explain stuff to you. How long do I have to explain stuff to people? You've been here 2-3 generations. There are books you could be reading. I don't have to explain nothing to you. Why don't you do the work? Why don't you do the work? You know, the funniest thing is about the people I come in contact with, even at the conference. I got in contact with a lot of black immigrants, and a lot of black immigrants who had done the work on their own. And we're talking about how they were talking to other black immigrants. If they do the work, I know everybody can do the work. Stop playing. Stop playing with this drama with the Nigerian married the white man, and everybody's whispering about what's wrong with black people. We're gonna allow these characters to evolve. Ain't no evolving. We all already know. We've been writing about this. Let me tell you, this last decade of scholarship has been really good. About black people, about all the books, all the journal articles, it's been superb. Ain't no need for this. Find another way to make a joke. I'm not going to be the butt of nobody's joke just so your stupid characters can evolve into what you want them to evolve into. I'm not interested. And it's not funny. So I don't suspect you'll be on very long, but even if you are, it ain't funny. I mean, it's offensive that I have to teach you why you should date me, and I'm here. I'm a citizen. I paved the way for you to be here, but I got to teach you why I'm something that you should date. Come on, man. Get out of here. Leave me alone. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this with nobody anymore. I'm very clear now on who my allies are. Allies, I can spot an ally a mile away. I can also spot an agent of white supremacy a mile away. I'm clear. And that's the moment that we're in. I think the moment that we're in is a moment where people are upset that we can spot people. I said this on Twitter, but I don't think we're at a moment where I don't think people really even think we're xenophobic. I think there's a small but loud minority who are really upset that we are now able to tell the difference between allies and agents. I think they're really upset by that because they like cloaking themselves as allies. And the allies be real allies. You throw a chair, they throw a chair. Like the allies be down. And we've never really done the work of like trying to differentiate between the two. And now we know. We see, well, okay, that's an ally. Okay, now you're agent. You a straight agent. And so I think people are upset about that. But that's just what it is. And ain't nobody watching this Abiola and Bob stuff. So, fam, let me get to the phones. I want to hear what everybody else has to say. Doug Jones of Alabama, not Mississippi. So let's get back to it. We'll get back to it and we're going to have the conversation. Just give me a couple minutes to set the phones and we'll be back. up, fam? We are back. You know, another conclusion I came to, I was reading some tweets and some stuff over the weekend, and I actually do believe that black immigrant agents of basically agents of white supremacy really do hate and despise allies of ADOS. Like, I think they look at that and be like, why are you allying with them? I've seen a lot of that. Like, why are you allying with ADOS? I really think they really have a problem with ADOS allies. But I appreciate the allies, and thank y'all for those of you who came to the conference. I talked to a lot of, a disproportionate number of allies that I spoke to at the conference were, spoke to a Haitian, but I spoke to more than a few Jamaicans, so that was interesting. That was really interesting. But I'm going to go to the phones, fam. Make sure I got one thing cut off, so it won't make any noise. Oh, I got a cold. Summer colds feels like a summer cold, but it'll still be hot around here. It's supposed to be fall. I think fall's gone. Anyway, fam, I'm going to go to the calls. Let's go to the calls and see what everybody has to say. I am going to 559. 559. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind? You there, 559? Hello?
Hello?
You there?
Yes.
What's going on?
Oh, how you doing? Yes.
Pretty good. How about you?
Hey, I enjoy your show.
Thank you.
I didn't see all the topics tonight because I just came in. I didn't think I was going to get it, but I enjoy your show. I enjoy you and Tone Talks, what you guys are all about, and just keep up the good work.
Thank you, fam. I appreciate
Thank you for allowing me to be on this show.
No
all
problem.
right. Thank you.
Appreciate it, fam. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
I think that was a first-time caller. I am going now to 424. 424, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Good evening, Miss Carnell.
What's going on?
Bartley calling out of Riverside, a.k.a. the Race Man. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Okay.
Firstly, I just want to say, pre-sale 2020. Pre-sale, can we get the event right for 2020? Now, ASAP. I got my, what the man say in the Richard Prime? I got my $2. I got my $15 saved.
You got it right now. You got it on you right now.
Absolutely. I was with y'all in 2018 at the Angela Conference.
Okay.
And I got a chance to hear a true ally. That the white dude that preached, Joe, there was Josh Pope.
Yeah,
doing,
Josh was at that conference.
Planning.
Yeah.
And then there was the other dude, Joe, the preacher, talked about
Joe Phelps.
Joe Phelps, yeah, his deed had redlining in it. And I had never heard what a true ally sounded like. And when I left that conference, my nickname now is Kevin Cosby Jr. You know, I'm a young preacher in Riverside contending for an institution at a Baptist church down on the bottom swinging. And since y'all been breathing life in the ADOS, anybody want to come this way can get this work in Jesus' name. And there is a hermeneutical method that is rooted in ADOS history. It jumps back a little further to the African roots of Christianity. But we ain't African, we American. But still, if you pull history forward and you talk about African roots of Christianity, there's equity that black people have in the faith. That is, and the reason I'm saying that is because I was at a Methodist church this weekend that's pastored by an African guy, and it took everything in me not to jump on him. They let me come in the pulpit, so I had to have some etiquette, and I knew he was going to ask me to have word, and so I played it cool, but I came back to Bible study, and at Bible study I was able to start pulling out of him, and he began to talk about the truth, but he has to get back in his coat because them folks is paying his check. And so I'm going to keep pulling on him with this ADOS stuff because them folks is talking to ADOS youth. And what he saw was how his congregation responded to him being a black man. You know what I'm saying? And it's starting to, the wheels started turning for him. And what I realized is I don't have beef with him per se, even though I'm gonna keep giving him that work, and he's going to see the results. Who I do have beef with is the conference, the Methodist conference, for going to get all them Africans and bringing them over here, because them Africans don't have no problem telling them. He was talking about you know how many people don't have running water? I don't know, what do you mean they don't have running? Why are you preaching to us about running water? We built the richest country in the world. You know what I'm saying?
You preach about his country. Where you from?
So thank you so much for giving us life. And we just waited, and God bless you. We appreciate you. And that's all I wanted to get off my chest.
No, I appreciate it, man.
2020.
I'm looking forward to seeing you next time.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. I love to hear good pastors out there doing real work as opposed to buying jets and stuff. I appreciate that. I appreciate people who are out there trying to do good work, and I look forward to seeing that brother at the conference. Next caller I am going to is 313. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Oh, Miss Yvette, this is Vishal calling from Detroit. I've got in. This is my third time getting in on the show, and I'm so excited. I did get a chance to see bits and pieces of the conference.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't. I've been seeing them when they were posted on Facebook. I didn't get a chance to order it because I found out a little bit too late.
Okay.
But I do have a little bit of information for all of the ADOS in Detroit. CVC member Brenda Lawrence will be, well, it's supposed to be. It's not listed on her website for some reason, and I have to call tomorrow to get a reconfirmation on it. But Saturday on the 12th, she's supposed to be at the Starbucks in Grosse Pointe on Mack Avenue in Detroit, in Michigan. Well, Grosse Pointe, rather, on the east side, just past Detroit. I'm definitely going, and I hope that all of the ADOS of Detroit can show up there, because we have a lot of questions that need to be answered. Detroit has been pretty much turned into an opportunity zone, and none of the the foundational Black Americans, the ADOS in Detroit, have really been able to capitalize on this. I mean, for instance, my brother is a small business owner. He's trying to get his stuff up and running right now, and he cannot access any of the SBC loans or SBA loans. I forget exactly what it's called.
SBA, yeah.
But I would love to see a mass ADOS turnout, because we need to put this lady on. I don't even know if she signed the amicus brief.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Let me tell you, fam. Let me tell you. What did you sign the amicus brief? And let me just tell you, what are your plans to close the racial wealth gap? Those are two good questions just to start with.
Okay, and I have a slew of topics that I wanted to ask her about, and if at all possible, is there any way that I can shoot this stuff to you, so you can kind of refine them for me?
You can send them to me at editor@breakingbrown.com. Put it in all caps for me, please. That lets me know that I spoke to you, or you saw it on YouTube or something like that. It lets me know that, but put it in all caps. I'll look at it. I've done it for people before. I've done it for people before. I do it a lot.
Okay, and thank you so much, because I do want to. I don't want to just come like I'm a bird out of a cage on this. I wanted to seem as professional as possible. And beyond that, Yvette, you and Tone, and everybody else that showed up for the conference, I appreciate you guys so much. I questioned the snot out of Brenda Lawrence's staff earlier today while I was trying to get information on how I could talk to her directly, or when she would be back in the state, so I could possibly have a sit-down conversation with her. And pretty much I got the runarounds into one of her staff members slipped up and said something about the meeting at Starbucks, her supposed to be being at this Starbucks. And again, it's not posted on any website, but I'm going to call them and hound them again tomorrow, so I can, then I'm going to record it and post it, you know what I'm saying, for just in case it turns out not to be so. This is something that's coming directly from her office, and either they're telling the truth or they're lying about it.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, we're going to find out.
Yeah, definitely. And beyond that, I just want you guys to be affirmed that I and everybody in my family greatly appreciates the work that you guys are doing, and I look forward to learning as much as possible from you and that song.
No, appreciate it, fam. I appreciate you doing the work in your own community. Let me just say this. When people contact me and say they're going to see elected official, one of the things that I normally attach, or I try to find to attach to what they're doing is a study about black wealth or lack of wealth, which is usually what we find in their communities. So like if you're in Boston and you reached out to me, I probably gave you the $8 study and attached questions that kind of related to that $8 and what your lawmaker was going to do about the $8. So that's what I do a lot of the times. And I didn't have no problem crafting them for that brother too. But just so you have an idea of like my mindset in terms of how you should go and talk to your politician. I think you have to kind of undergird that with data. Say, well, we're going to do this. We got $8. What are you going to do about the $8? What are you going to do about the media? Like, what are you going to do about, there are articles and data sets for every community. So one of the things that we have to start doing is having those data sets handy when we talk to politicians, because they talk in rhetoric. We got to talk in data. Yeah, that's cool. That's smooth. You a smooth Negro. Yeah, good. But the data, you just ran up against it. And what are you going to do about that? So I'm going to the next caller. I am going to 510. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
My name is Billy. I'm calling from Philly.
What's going on, Billy from Philly? Billy from Philly?
I want to definitely shout you out and the whole Breaking Brown family for the great job you did with the conference. Man, that's word speechless on that. Saw the live stream. A lot of great speakers, a lot of great information. Dr. Carnell West was the bomb. That is that guy right there.
Thank you. He was.
For sure. I just wanted to ask you, and I ask everything of you in nothing but respect. We have an agenda as ADOS. We have the numbers empirically, anecdotally, historically regarding voting and how we turn out. We did what we did regarding Obama. Is it not past time for us to have our own political party to really show that we're beyond serious about the work that needs to be done and that we are capable of doing it?
But let me just say this. I honestly think that the Democratic Party is our party. Who else votes that much for Democrats? Nobody does it. Like, I think we have just allowed ourselves to exist in this Democratic Party without like taking it over. Like, nobody gives that much vote to Democrats except for us. Like, why should they get to run it?
Well, no, I mean, okay, all right, okay, and I respect that point. However, at bare minimum, shouldn't we at least be putting our own candidates up, like pedestal style? I mean, we talk about the Warrens and we talk about all the other individuals that's doing their thing. We have the individuals, we have the intellect, we have the spirit. At bare minimum, shouldn't we be demanding from the Democratic Party, if we're going to ride that wave, shouldn't we be demanding that our candidates be put up as opposed to asking these candidates to change or speak the tune that we want them to speak?
Well, let me just say what I believe about most politicians. I believe most politicians are puppets. I think they don't need to be puppets. What needs to happen is the politicians need to have some kind of conviction, because then what happens is that conviction bleeds over into your politics. I believe that's what should be. But what I believe is that most of these politicians are puppets, right? And so what I don't think that we have been able to effectively do is to be effective puppet masters. And we have all of the votes and all of the numbers that we should have been able to do that, but we haven't been able to do that. See, I don't think we have to necessarily be a group that gets... We've seen things that show like black representation in terms of having a black person as a candidate doesn't necessarily mean black representation, right? So what I'm saying is that what I need is like for us to have a ADOS agenda and hold people accountable to that agenda, which means that I don't really care who you are as a person. I just need you to adhere to what I put forth in terms of my agenda item, because you ain't special, you ain't nobody. You're just a politician, which means you're just a puppet. I need you to adhere to the agenda items that I put forth. So I'm not even really concerned with who the hired hand is.
I'm sorry, what was you saying?
I said, so I'm not even concerned of who the hired hand is. I just need the hired hand to do my bidding. And y'all are all mercenaries. To me, they are.
Right on. Right on. Well, that's truth. That's truth to power. Listen, definitely appreciate what you do.
Thank you,
May
fam.
the universe continue to bless you and yours. Stay strong in the struggle. I believe the Breaking Brown family would agree with me when I said Yvette Carnell for 2024 at bare minimum with Antonio Moore's advice. You know what I'm talking about? Make some things happen. We salute you, though. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, fam. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling in. Yeah, I think we just have to have an agenda. All these people, you don't have to have your own. Just, like I don't think we have to reinvent the wheel. I think the wheel is there. We've just been using the wheel wrong. I don't think we've been using the wheel right. I think we don't have to reinvent it. Just like when I said Project Takeover, we have our own institutions. We don't have to invent whole new institutions. Just take over the ones we got. And just demand accountability from our politicians. Listen, if you don't have ADOS agenda, which is a reparations agenda and everything that comes with it, we're just gonna write in ADOS. We're not doing nothing else. We're not doing else for you. What you want? What you think you owe it over here? I want to thank everybody. We have reached the Yvette Carnell Breaking Brown channel has reached 70,000. So I want to thank everybody for that. Antonio Moore is in town, so we're going to have a show. We're going to try to have it tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're going to be around, we're going to try to have that show tomorrow for you. So, a celebration. Wonderful. 70,000 threshold. Antonio should be at 70,000 soon. So, that'll be another show. Maybe I'll be in LA. Anyway, going to the next call. Going to 504. 504. What is your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hi, Yvette. My name is Yolanda. I'm calling from Harvey, Louisiana.
Okay.
You took my word from me earlier. You used the word mercenary, and not all, because for full disclosure, I am married to an immigrant, an African immigrant, and he was an ally before I even knew what the term ADOS ally was. He was an ally. We've been together for over 26 years, so. But most of the people, including family members, are not allies. And I hearken back to the young lady that cried a couple of weeks back that was giving you her situation with being married to someone.
I remember.
She's absolutely right. But unlike her, I got a few years on her, and I know how to handle them. I don't always get invited to the barbecues and the trips across seas or anything like that, but that's fine with me because I stand my ground. Now, in terms of this new show, it's heavily advertised. I can't watch the news for it because they advertise it, so I feel like I've actually seen it. When they first advertised it, I knew it was going to be crap. And I decided I wasn't going to give it any attention. Number one, and just listening to your show, I found out that, you use the term mercenary. That's what I want to say. You use the term mercenary.
Okay.
Those guys have been mercenaries going all the way back for centuries. And we don't have to go into it, but everybody knows that. And they're actually now... they're still continuing in their mercenary tactics by coming in, taking advantage of things meant for us. Now, I have a front row seat to them. I do know that to their lifestyles and how they get down. I do know that they do work very hard, but when it comes down, as a group, not all, as I said before, I'm married to an ally. But as a group, when it comes down to standing for us, I look at it on this local level here within the family, they don't do it. They always go the route where they want to come over and take advantage, and they do, of opportunities that we have made available. And see, that's why I have some issues with some people around here, because I happen to point out the debt, basically, that they owe to us.
Okay.
And so, as I say, I get in a lot of trouble for it. But that's all I want to say.
Oh.
And take Abiola off your Twitter. You just giving them free advertising, because trust me, this crap show is not going to last long. I can assure you of that.
Yes, I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny enough to last too long. But yeah. When
he was with that other Zoptic chick, Molly somebody. No, that was her character, Melissa McCarthy. It doesn't even have the same energy as that show did, so it's not going to last. I can tell it's just a drain. They use it. I just want to say this quickly.
Okay.
I don't understand why mean, you use the term, I use the term mercenary, but it has to be something deeper. Why you would come over here? It's like coming to somebody's house, eating their cake, and then go, your house is ugly, and so are you, and leaving. What would possess someone to come on the show and basically disrespect the very people that made it possible for them to even be in this country?
Because here's the thing. The people who made it possible for you to be here aren't the people in charge, right? So white supremacy is in charge. The people who made it possible for you to be here are not in charge. So you are trying to ingratiate yourself to white supremacy. You're not trying to ingratiate yourself to the people who fought and made it to where the KKK ain't riding down your street right now. You ain't worried about them. You're trying to do something else, and that's what happens too often. And then that's why I said the thing I said about black immigrant allies. They be running around checking black immigrant allies. Like, how are you doing this? You are. I heard somebody tell, I had a Nigerian ally tell a Nigerian agent of white supremacy, oh, you are ashamed. You make your ancestors shame or some stuff he told him. And it's just like, what's wrong with you? Like, no, the ally gets it. Like, he understands like what he benefits from, and you're just trying to ingratiate yourself to white supremacy and white supremacists. That's a problem.
Yeah, my husband rose like that, and that's why I love him. But as a whole, they all don't get down like that. And I do know that they come from some areas that are horrible. And they come over here instead of being so happy that we've made a way for them to escape that. They come over here and they attack them. You're absolutely right. And then to go to someone else's point, I think one of the other callers mentioned it. I think it has something to do too with this arrogance that we're getting from not all, but a big portion of them, especially in this day of Twitter. Because I didn't know about the purple lipstick people and Buzzy and all of them until I started listening to your show. And but I think a lot of it comes from jealousy too, because they know that we went through something no one else in recorded history has gone through, and we're still walking around here and we're still fighting. Well, thanks to you and Antonio, y'all done brought it back up again, but and they have to flee and come over here.
Well, no, and I think
horrible situations that I know of personally.
Let me just say, I agree with you. I think, here's the thing. One of the things that ADOS has to be proud of, we're not proud of nothing else. We have stayed in the belly of the beast and fought and fought and fought and fought.
Amen.
Some of y'all who are not allies, who are agents of white supremacy, are really upset at yourself. You're really upset that we have fought and fought and fought, and you have ran and ran and ran. You left Nigeria. You went to London, and they didn't give you no roles in the acting job. So you came. You ran and ran and ran, and we fought and fought and fought. And so you know that, like, you're standing up next to warriors, and you are not a warrior. And the only thing you can do is turn the warrior in. Like, if you are not a warrior, you're standing next to one, the only thing you can do is turn him in, because you can't fight him, and you don't want to be with him because you can't fight with and beside him. So the agents, that's what they are. The allies are very different. The allies are like, you throw something, I throw something. But you agents, y'all are just exposing yourselves.
Absolutely. Well, that's all I had to add. I want to let others get in, and I thank you so much for, I have a few years on. I'm not quite, well, if I was a fast girl, I could have probably been your mom.
Fast girl.
But I want to say, you and Tone, with what the other people who've come before who are a little bit jealous of what you and Tone have been able to produce in these last 3 years, what you guys have and they don't have, of course, is absolutely the data. Mm. But also, you guys have this authentic love for your people. I feel it. Yeah, sure. I see it. I know you're not in it for the bucks, and that's what I love about you. That you're not on YouTube waiting to get that call from, not MSNBC, because I know you hate them, but the other networks or get some kind of a show. Nope. And that's what I love about you guys. You're true warriors, and I love you, and thank you so much.
No, and I pray for you. Thank you. I appreciate that insight too. I appreciate that insight into what goes on.
Yes, sister.
Because we gotta get that, but not nobody went for no call from child. Y'all get the same amount of views I got on YouTube. What I'm gonna get that for? So I can. You gonna tell me to tell lies for $20 or whatever y'all pay, or see it in a MSNBC analyst town? Y'all call Roland Martin for that, honey. He want his job back so bad. He been crying for about 6-7 years. I don't know how long he been crying for that job. We gonna go up there with the National Association of Black Journalists. We gonna tell him. Child, go somewhere and massage your toes or something, child. I ain't nobody got time for that. But yeah, I think she's right, and I think we have to, there's gonna be. I ain't gonna talk about that. It's very interesting. I think eventually I'm gonna have some more on it, but it's very interesting how like the agents move as opposed to the allies, and how the black immigrant agents don't like the allies, and I think they kind of hate themselves because they didn't fight and they ain't never gonna fight. I'm just gonna go. Well, I didn't get no roles. I was trying to get acting roles in London. Then they give me. I ran over here to America, and I'm just gonna get whatever's here. I'm a locust. And then the immigrant allies like, no, we with the ADOS. We can't do it that way. And they're like, who are you? You are an embarrassment to your people. Wait a minute. He's supposed to be with us. What you doing? He's supposed to be with us. You supposed to be with us. What you doing? So anyway, fam, let me get to the next call. I am going to who you call? I'm going to 850. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Yvette.
What's up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been wanting to talk to you.
What's going on?
I'm so glad I get to hear your voice. Oh my God. Callers, I'm sorry, but y'all don't know how much I've been wanting to talk to this woman.
What's up, fam?
Oh. Listen, I love you, and I love
you
Tone. Listen, I drive a semi. I drive a Shelton truck, and I don't even care. Listen, God, I'm nervous.
Take your time, fam. Take your time. We family here. Ain't no big deal.
Okay. Listen, what I want to let you know is, my mom put me on you.
Okay.
I call her my mom. She's literally my stepmom. She mean the world to me. She put me on to you. She helped me to understand a lot of this that's going on, right? And then when I got on to you and Tone, literally I drive in my semi all the time. I listen to y'all. One day I one day I binge listening to y'all, just listening to y'all shows. I kid y'all not. Like, I love everything y'all talk about. I love, because we used to talk about this way before the 2016 election.
Mm-hmm.
And for when y'all talk, y'all speaking nothing but facts. Like, and then when I'm trying to put my people on, my people want to get mad with me and want to say, "Oh, you a know-it-all, you are this," but they don't understand. When y'all talk, this is years of research. Years. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and flex and say, I know about, like, what y'all be talking about more than the average, ADOS member, because I don't, because, y'all been on it, and y'all be deep with it, and I love it. I seriously love it. And I wish I could have I'm trying not to forget nothing, because literally I'm nervous, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been wanting to see y'all and go to the conference. It's just, hold on, I'm sorry.
Take your time, breathe. Take your time. You good?
Okay. Okay. I got, what's the name? I got family members. And then not only that, I want to touch on two things. I got family members that they, interracial relationship. do interracial relationships.
Okay.
But then come to find out when they go through when they go through certain issues or something, you know, the police or anybody don't never lean towards them. They always lean to the other people.
Oh.
And then when they go through that, next thing you know, they come to me and then they want to talk about it. But when I tell them to be careful from the get-go, they always tell me I don't see color. But guess what? To be honest, let's be real. Everybody see race. Everybody see, class. Everybody see all of that, except for us.
Well, the police see color when they came out there and roped them up. Took them, cuffed them up, and put them in the car.
Thank you, and I try to tell them that all the time, but they don't want to listen. And then there was another thing. It was I want to say it was something that you talked about. What was it? I'm sorry, y'all. Like, just bear with me right quick, because I'm excited. Like, I'm in a moment right now. Like, I don't know. Oh, the last episode that I seen you talking about. Okay. About me being a truck driver. Y'all was talking about the fact that the job. I know this ain't on the topic of the show tonight.
Go ahead.
Because I've been watching. But the truck driver. Okay. Because it was a snippet that my mom called that said 120 million Americans on Fox. And I got the picture. On Fox, talking about 120 million Americans will be without a job within the next 3 years. So, due to artificial intelligence, that's what it is.
Yeah, automation and all that stuff.
So, yes. So, and then when you went to talking about truck drivers, first of all, let me tell you, my mom put me on that. So she was telling me, look, and then also I went and seen videos where they making self-driving semis. And they literally blocked off a whole portion of the interstate and showed that this truck can stop, do all of that, make sure it stay in the lanes and all of that. And so now it got me thinking, like, what field can I go into? But also it got me thinking, like, well, dog, do anybody else realize this? Because ADOS is the bottom. We are the bottom. Like, we people coming in this.
Well, you know what, fam. I don't think enough of us realize it. Like it's almost as if like there's a planned conclusion for us being here. Like we're entering a conclusion phase, right? So we're in here. We're going to be disproportionately hurt by this, disproportionately hurt by that. Well, what do we go for here? No wealth and no jobs. What do we think that ends for us?
Thank you. And I say that all the time to them. And then, like, a lot of them like to say, oh, I'm radical. I get combative. But it like, when I say combative, I ain't talking about literally fist fighting and all that. But I'm talking about, like, I get angry because I'm like, yo, y'all really don't, y'all living in fantasy land, yo. And then my mom, my biological mom, all of them, they get mad because they don't understand. Now, I'm 30 years old. My name is Eleazar Thompson Jr. And I'm sorry, I meant to say, because I was in shock, y'all. I'm from Ebro, Florida, 16 miles from Panama City Beach. But listen, they get literally mad when I'm sitting there, what's the name? Oh, you a know-it-all. You this, you that. Come on, bro. I'm trying to help y'all.
But fam, let me just say this. We have kind of, I don't know how, because we weren't always this way. We have become kind of a group of people who, like, we don't want to hear anything. We don't want to deal with real life. We don't want to deal with reality. We don't want to deal with knowledge. We just want to kind of live in this ignorant space. And, like, I appreciate everything you do, but I just want to tell you, don't drive yourself crazy trying to get information to people who don't want to hear information, who don't want to hear it. But you can't help them either when they go over a cliff, because they're going over a cliff. and they're gonna be looking for something to hang on to, and they can't hang on to you. You got to find new ADOS family.
And you know what? And when I've been, say it again.
I said you're gonna have to find your own ADOS family. Like that's what I'm realizing. It's like people got to find family, like because these families are different.
And when I've been listening to you, that's what made me realize. So then when I tell people my age, some of them get it. I mean, some of them listening, but then they still, then they keep questioning, they keep doing all the extra. And I'm like, bruh, when I just explained it to you, matter of fact, then I tell them what you say. Go research for yourself. Yeah. Like, if you don't believe me, go research. If you don't want to research, but then they try to say, well, okay, next time you research, tell me what you're researching. Come on, bruh.
Yeah, I'm not doing the work. I'm not doing the work for you.
Literally yesterday. I did that literally yesterday. And then you know what they were doing? They were busy looking on Facebook.
Well, like, but see, the thing that we have to do is going to be so hard because we love people and we love these people. These people are family. But you're going to have to suffer the consequence of like not doing any work. It's kind of like, what's that little parable or what was the little chicken? Who was that did all the work? The 3 little piggies or somebody built a house? Y'all tell me. Like, eventually you're going to have to, that's the parable. Like, you're going to have to do the work of not building the house. Like, we have a whole group that's building a house of knowledge and we're trying to build a foundation and you're going to be out there. We're going to strengthen our group, though. We're going to strengthen our group. But I'm going to let you have the last word, fam, before I go to the next comment. Let you have the last word. Nice to hear from you.
Okay. Well, I would say I really love you and Tone and Sandy Darity. I love y'all.
We love you, too.
Man, all my soul. Listen, I appreciate everything y'all do. Y'all don't even understand. And then also, like I said, I'm from Evo, Florida, right by the water, and they don't understand that and down here we don't have what a lot of everybody else have. We are like literally like in the boonies. Like it ain't nothing here. We're bad off, like, and I've not seen it, and I've been trying to tell people, and that's why I was glad when my mom, when I say stepmom, you know, I look at her as my biological mom too, but you know, I really appreciate her for putting me on to y'all. Thank y'all so much.
No, thank you, and thank her for me. I appreciate it, and I appreciate it, fam. And don't take on too much stress, fam. Don't take on too much stress, all right?
And tell Otis I like him too. When Otis is happening, and I like Otis.
Otis is a cool dude. Otis was at the conference dancing a jig. So yeah, I'll tell him we gonna see you next conference. So it's all good.
Yeah, I promise you I'm gonna be there.
All right, I appreciate it, fam. You take care of yourself now. Mental health and self-care is important. Don't you get too caught up with these crazy people who want to tell you that, well, I tell you what, you go do the research and then you bring it back. I don't work for you. What I look like. I'll tell you what I found out, but I don't work for you. I'm going now to, I'm going to 334. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, Yvette.
Hey.
Calling from Montgomery,
What's going on?
Pretty good. I'm the guy that talked to Doug Jones.
Good. What happened? Tell us what you saw there.
So I wasn't able to make it to the town hall, like in time to see everything. I'm waiting for Tuskegee to put up their the live stream.
Okay.
Like the recording of it.
Okay.
So after that, I'll go watch that. But it was actually pretty cool. Just that, like I technically kind of bomb rushed the room to get to him.
Good for you.
Because I've been like bugging him like during the whole entire summer, really. Because I've been calling his office, DC office, like trying to get the information to him. So it's just been So it's a work in progress. So that's really about it.
But what did he say? Like for those who didn't hear the audio on my Twitter, what did he say?
Really, I wish I should have pressed him a lot harder. He was really just giving me the runaround, talking about, we got time. Well, we got time. It's not going anywhere, especially on that point. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. I really wanted to call him out on that. And I really just, like, I was in the moment. And I was like, man, is he really saying this? I can't believe he's saying this. And he basically didn't. So really it was just like a lot of ripping and running, just the rhetoric of him just giving me the runaround. So,
well, you know what, fam? Pat yourself on the back though, because what happened is that you got him to go on record, right? See, the thing is when you get somebody to go on record on a particular thing, that's important because we can come back and say, well, you said give it time, you didn't know, now you know, so what we gonna do now? So you really forced him to go on record, and so like, you know, don't focus too hard on what I should have said this, should have said that. Like once you get home, you figure it out, and when you do it again, you'll do it differently. But you still got him to go on record about, you know, reparations, and that's a good thing regardless. So. Yeah, he seemed like he was running around too. He was running around like he was like that game Frogger, what it was, be running in the street or something. That's what it seemed like to me. He was running around and running around. You don't know.
Go ahead.
So go ahead, Carl. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you have the last word.
Okay, yeah, because one of the things too, he said someone asked him that during the town hall, and I really want to hear that part because I really want to see like what exactly did he say.
Okay.
So if I'm able to get that, I will definitely post it on Twitter. Tag you in it.
Okay. I appreciate that.
I'll make sure you get to you.
Okay. No, I appreciate that, family. I appreciate you doing the work. You know, I know what you said. I got there. I only got there within 9 minutes and all that. No, I appreciate that, but you still got there. Like we gotta be careful not to engage in too much. And I'm not saying to call it this. I'm just saying this as a cautionary note to not like engage in too much like self-criticism. Like, well, I should have done this and I should have done. Yeah, but we're kind of new to this, so. You know, a lot of us are, so we're going to get used to it. We're going to get the feel of it. You just stay in it. When you did it, you got him on record. You got there. You did your work. You did the work. Bravo. Bravo to the caller. Bravo to y'all. Yes, what it's supposed to do. You're doing it. Nobody was ever wanting us to get, like, really engaged the way we get engaged. That's going to be a problem. Oh, well. I'm going to another caller. This might be my last caller. I'm at about, where we at? I am going, let me see. Okay, I'm going to 310. 310, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hello?
What's going on, 310?
Hey, Yvette. This is Amara calling from Los Angeles.
What's going on?
The conference was super lit.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I was so happy to be in the room with other ADOS persons who know this information and who feel the way I do. It was so very important for me to be there.
Okay.
I just want to thank y'all for that.
Thank you.
And what did Dr. Cosby say at the very end? It was you, Tone, and Dr. Cosby on stage, and he said, how did he say it? There's people who know what's going on, there's people who don't know, and at the very end, there's folks who want to know what happened. How did he say that?
Something like that. You got it about right.
That was brilliant. It was brilliant, and so many of us are still those people looking around. What happened?
Yeah.
And anyway, a friend of mine, I got there to Kentucky, and I had a good friend that I knew in high school who lives in Lexington, so he was able to attend. And it kind of blew his mind. You know, he sat there the first day, and he listened to all the information, and then we got to visit. And afterwards, and he wanted to know, well, what do you think? Has it gotten worse? Has it gotten any better? And I looked at him and I was like, it's the same. It's the same, and maybe it's gotten worse. But you know, things have not really changed since they so-called let us go. And then he looked at me, you know, and he was like, you know, I was like, look, you know, because black people, you know, we're sitting up, we're on the bottom cast, and we're broke. And this brother scared the shit out of me, like he jumped. I'm not broke. And I was like, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
By whose estimation, sir?
Huh?
I said, by whose estimation is he not broke? Well, I mean, is he, what?
This is what I'm trying to say. And, you know, and I'm not going to put him on blast, but, like, you know, this is the same person who told me that the IRS come to his house 6 months ago and took everything. So, yes, you are. And, you know, I look for the day that we have policy and laws on the books to protect us from that type of stuff even.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was trying to explain to him. You know, he's like, well, where are we headed with all this? Like, what's the end all? And I'm like, yeah. What happened to you very recently? If when we get what we need and what we deserve, they won't be able to do that to you. You will be hands off.
Oh.
So
Oof.
anyway, I got to call in and say thank you so much. The conference was beautiful. I connected with a lot of people out here, and I think if we had to like put a number on like who came from where, I feel like the most people that attended were people from California. Is that true?
Yeah, there was California. I think California might be number one. Then I think number two, it was a lot of New Yorkers there, a lot of Chicagoans in the house. So I think there might have been the top three. If I were to just guess.
Mhm. I mean, and people are serious. You hear me? People are serious.
Yeah.
Like, we come up for hours, you know. Gone and done are the days of just getting kicked constantly and just on the bottom. Because this is ridiculous. Like, I want to have a nice life, too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I had the New Yorkers on me. They was like, Yvette, you keep saying New York is different. And I'm telling you, I was like, oh, okay, I give. So I know, that's the only reason I know there was a lot of New York there, too. So there was a lot of New York and a lot of California and a lot of Chicago. And everything else was just kind of scattered throughout America.
The most expensive.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you, Carla. I appreciate you calling in.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, family. And we got work to do, and let's just keep it pushing.
Yeah, we had, because I'm from Atlanta, so we had a lot of Atlanta. We had a lot of people from the, who were talking about, who were from the Atlanta meetup, too. Who was saying, we got to get you out there. And I tried to go last time, but I didn't get to go. But so it was kind of like, I would say, California, New York, Chicago, Atlanta. I mean, it was a sparsing of Florida too, but I mean, it was kind of like scattered throughout America. Just like, well, I'm from Nashville. I'm from, just people from all kinds of places. I'm from South Carolina, but all of the rest was just like everywhere. But I heard like those, like, California, New York, Chicago, Atlanta. That was like, pew. Like, so that was a lot. So I'm going to take one more call. And I'm going to go. One more. Last one. Let me see what I'm going to take. 903. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, Yvette, James from Glendale, Texas.
What's going on?
I'll take a little different take on some of the things that were said. For me, I see a lot of, like Free Speech TV, Tom Hartman, and this whole thing about Trump is so racist. This is racist, and how bad it is, right? Mm-hmm. But then you have a guy like Beto O'Rourke sit there and say, "Well, we're going to take your AR-15s away. We're going to take this from you." But if you're black and you're poor, and that's the only protection you have, why would you take that away from them to help this whole racist scenario?
You have an AR-15?
The other thing that,
You have an AR-15?
No, not yet. But
how much do they cost? But my thing is,
don't take away that part of the conversation either, because the part of ADOS is being protected, needs to be protected by having those things. I listened to a lot of Tom Hartman, and he said you should have a tax, or not a tax, but insurance on your firearms. Every firearm you have, you need to have a insurance policy on it, right? But if you're ADOS, you can't afford that. And if you can't afford that, you have to be able to afford to protect yourself from racists. If this, if they're going the way we're sitting there saying it's going, this is so racist of a nation. The whole thing went down there, and the guy ran over all the people. And I don't want a lot of that to be missed or not talked upon as well, because I think that we get into a strive of not wanting to protect ourselves as much as we need to.
I'm just gonna say something. I'm just gonna say something about this AR-15 stuff. AR-15 costs anywhere from $600 to.
I don't own one. But
you mentioned it.
You mentioned it. Saying, hey, voting down ballot is very important in terms of this. You're marking your territory to say, hey, we seen a lot of this on the ballots. It said ADOS. We don't know where it came from, because that way they can't mark you as a Russian bot anymore. They can sit there and say, hey, the Joy Reid, you had it wrong. They can sit there and say, NBC, you had it wrong. ADOS Russians were not in the ballot booth. They were there at the polls, and they delivered what they wanted to deliver. And I think there's nothing wrong with sitting there saying that. Don't vote Marianne Williamson. Don't vote for Yvette Carnell. The movement is ADOS. It's bigger than that. So if you let a couple of people get in there, it's not going to be taken as the same thing as everybody being a whole lot of people doing it. It's no different from when gangs go and mark their territories. You're marking your territory as this. I'm not no gangbanger.
I agree with that. I agree with that last part, Colin.
You mark it.
Okay, no, I agree with that last part. I'm gonna let you go, but I agree with that last part about marketing. But an AR-15 is anywhere from $600 to $2,000, according to what I saw on. And I saw y'all said it's around the same amount. Anywhere from half of black families to a few black families. So I don't even know how AR-15 came into the conversation. But I do agree that we have to mark. We have to claim our vote, and if we don't have a presidential candidate, we just claim our group. So I can agree with that part, and I'm just gonna let it go with that. Made me tired. Whatever. Anyway, fam, let me just put this up. Don't forget, on the 24th, we're gonna have the book club, and don't forget tomorrow. Antonio and I are gonna try to have a show at around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because he is in town, so we're gonna have to do that show, and we're gonna chop it up about something. You just have to tune in to figure it out. But the book is October the 24th. That's our book club. That will be the day we will be having that discussion, family. We will be having the discussion, chaos of community, whether we go from here. So we talked about it at the conference, and we brought it up. So let's just bring it back here to where we are. So get ready for that. That's a Thursday. It's not the last Thursday as usual, but that's because that's Halloween. So it is what it is. So fam, before you go, please hit that like button for me. Please share. Please, if you want to donate, you go to donatebrown.com or patreon.com/Carnell, or you can join the newsletter, which is in the description. You can do all of that stuff. Or please also make sure you hit that bell. If you haven't hit that bell so you get notifications, please do that for me. Just smash that bell for me. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. You can also go to subscribe to brown.com, just so I have your email address if anything were to happen, or if I was going to do, like I sent something out when I was, we were doing the conference, just so I have your stuff. So, like when I was doing the streaming, I said, hey, everybody, I'm doing the streaming. I sent that out through the email. God, my nose. So just so you know, just so we can keep up and we can be in communicate with one another and communicate. That's all. Ain't no problem. So anyway, fam, that is it for today's show. I will see you all tomorrow, and we will have another conversation. Bonus show. Finish your libations, fam. Get yourself together. Get your stuff together. And I will see you soon, as always.